you lovelies. How are you doing? Um, it's the Happy Hippy Chicks here again, Becca and Karnie, for another 22 days of Joy Flips. We're up to day 6 today, and we are having a look at softening the light. Now, you probably can't tell, but I am actually in sheer darkness here. Not a single light on. I've got my beautiful candle happening. It's going to push my sugar cravings big time because it's pink sugar and something else. It smells divine. But because I'm sitting near a window so I can read, it doesn't look as dark as it would be. Anyway, let's have a look at why we're doing softening into the light. We've got a beautiful meditation at the end. Harsh lighting keeps the nervous system alert. Soft light signals safety and rest. So we're going to light a candle or a soft lamp instead of overhead lighting and calm the energy of our space down. Now, I did want to put in a little bit of a disclaimer there because you do have to be exceptionally careful with candles. And I know this from personal experience because I used to put them on all the time when I was meditating and I'd fall asleep. And I had one candle. Yeah, I know. Haven't burnt the house down yet, Alison. I've nearly burnt my hair a couple of times reaching over candles. But, and it was really interesting. One time Spirit actually kicked in and said, be careful. And I went, what? And then realised how close I was to the candlelight. But this particular time I fell asleep, the candle wax poured out of the candle onto the carpet. And I ended up with this massive big puddle of candle wax. And my bestie, I rang her straight away and said, look, what do I do? What do I do? And she's like, well, you need a brown paper bag and you put that down on the floor and then go over it with an iron. And apparently that's supposed to work, but not when the carpet's nylon and you have it on a really high heat. So all I did was melt all the carpet together. It needed to be replaced. So do be careful when you're working with candles. Journal entry today is, how did the room feel? How did it shift your mood? And did the softer light make a difference? I can actually already feel a difference just with the softer light and just with the fact that I've created a bit of intentionality around softening that energy. Over to you, Becca.
Okay. So yeah, so like Connie said, you can grab your candle, or it doesn't need to be a real candle. It can be whatever one, or just like a softer lighting. Yeah, so the shadow scripts today are so when you're trying to soften, especially into oh, Alison's going to get a candle.
Oh,
Um, I'll wait for people to grab a candle.
do you want to share your beautiful lantern too, Becca? Because it's gorgeous.
Oh, beautiful, Carrie. Love it. Yeah. Karnie just asked me to share my lantern with you guys as well. Obviously, the candle was in there before, but yeah. Yeah, beautiful lantern that I have. I love it.
We are talking about that the other day because Leo loves candles and gets a little bit too curious, and he's got a very fluffy black tail. So I have to be super cautious with candles. But she said, why don't you get a lantern holder? I'd never thought of that. Becca comes up with amazing plans to help me make life easier. It's all part of the service, hey?
Oh yeah. Because you actually have to take my advice as well. It does
Yeah.
work. All right. So as Connie said, like you've got your candle, your soft lighting. But yeah, we're gonna go over some shadow scripts and some joy flips for those. So the first one is that you have to stay alert, that you can't relax and soften because you need to be on all the time. You don't have time to just enjoy a candle flame, right? Or just relax. So softness doesn't actually equal weakness. It's not, it's actually really strong to allow yourself to soften. And especially, for the women watching this and the women in this group right now, like it's going into your femininity as well. And so being soft doesn't mean to just, lay down and do nothing and be just, it's a beautiful part of your energetics as well. So it's actually a really strong part of you. And those of you that have given birth and stuff like that, if you can soften during giving birth and just breathing through it gently, then the birth is a lot easier and stuff like that. Like you have like all this kind of stuff about, so the softness is actually your strength. So that's just a little bit there. Um, Another shadow might be that relaxing means losing your vigilance, and that's kind of similar, right? So your nervous system needs to relax too. Your nervous system can't be on, hypervigilance all the time. It's not healthy for you. It's not good for you. It's again, it's taking away from that softness, especially the feminine side of you, and that's male and female. We need that softer side of us too. And if we don't have that balance, then our nervous system's in overdrive, and that's why we're so stressed and we can't have that downtime. Um, Another shadow perhaps is comfort lowers performance. Like it can kind of trigger feelings of being lazy, perhaps, or that you just like you're not worthy of things unless you're busy, unless you're doing stuff. And if you're just sitting there relaxing, like staring at a candle or drinking your coffee and just staring into space, but you're not actually providing for others or being an active part of society. And so we shame ourselves in taking that few moments for ourselves, and that's obviously not a good thing either. Um, so the flip for that is rest can be productive. Of course it can. It's actually balancing your nervous system. That's why we sleep, right? We sleep so that our body and our mind can have some time out from us constantly demanding of it, right? So this is so important. And our last shadow could be that safety must be earned. So, I mean, this is an ongoing theme for this whole 22 days is safety. And it's so important because a lot of us don't feel safe, whether we realize it or not. A lot of our issues is because we feel unsafe. And so this is another one that if we take time for ourselves, if we just sit down for 5 minutes, then we're not safe. We need to be on guard all the time. And this is, again, not good for us in general. It's not good for our body or our mentality, our emotions, and even on a spiritual level as well. So the flip for this is that I can feel safe in my own space, especially if you're able to go somewhere where you can be alone, where you can even lock the door or something. Just have a space where you can feel safe. Or it might not even be in your home. If your home feels unsafe or you can't have that time just for you, if you're lucky enough to be near a forest or something and you love being outside, or just go somewhere, even just go for a drive by yourself. If you have a car and you can drive, obviously don't drive if you can't drive, but yeah, just go for a drive or just go sit somewhere in your car, just somewhere where you can just have those moments to be alone and feel safe being alone. Especially, like I said, if you can do locks on the door, or that you're in a space where no one can interrupt you, practice that, just knowing and telling yourself that you are safe right now.
And
So this really does. So,
probably don't take a candle in the car.
well, you can, not while you're driving. If you like drive somewhere and like Kerry
Yeah,
said, like use the battery one, or
yeah,
you can get to your destination in the car, the middle of nowhere somewhere, and then light your candle in the car and relax in your car, put on some nice music, or blast the music if you're in the middle of nowhere and sing your favorite song, like on our song day, like, and have your candle there. So
yeah.
yeah.
Before you
Um,
do the super conscious affirmation, can I just tap into something there? Because
absolutely.
I realize, and I'm going to give you a bit of a plug here. So Becca does human design brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. I've had three people do it for me, didn't understand a word they were saying, and Becca made sense of everything I needed to know from the moment she opened her mouth. But before we began this course, we actually sat down together and Becca did a comparison between my human design and her human design to see how we would work together because we took that pretty seriously. She is phenomenal, Alison, she really is. But we did a comparison, and what Becca was talking about was that our energy levels are very different. So Becca doesn't need as much rest and relaxation as I do, but I actually need to go away and recharge my batteries in order to come back and be on again. And so we had to understand that difference between us to be able to make things work, that I was still part of the team and productive, but I just needed more rest than she did, because I was more capable of burning out more quickly if I didn't look after myself. MG, what's OMG? Yeah.
No, she's asking what your energy type is.
Oh, okay. So, what was
Are
I,
you a
Beck?
manifesting generator?
I think I was was I a manifester?
No.
Becca's doing that. I just want to say I've done human design as well. And Becca has done for me a human design reading. And you're right, Karnie, she's beyond amazing. So,
Yeah,
as I said, even though someone like me who's done it, no, I just bow down to Becca because she's just awesome. So, in so
yeah,
many ways, and especially at human
yeah.
design.
She's able to put it in such layman's terms,
Yeah.
that like I couldn't understand head nor tail of what the other three people were saying to me. It was like
Yeah.
listening to Mexican Swahili. But yeah, Becca just makes sense.
I've had mine
Karnie,
done by somebody else. I have, and I was quite happy with what they said.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
yes,
if you don't understand it, get Becca to explain it for you. And the
Okay, yep,
that's great is, like I said, she can do a comparison between two people, and the
yep.
information that comes out of that is mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. And that's how we knew we'd be a good team. Yeah.
well,
Very good.
first off, so Connie, you're a manifester, darling.
Yep.
Sorry. Your authority is solar plexus. So I know that Alison knows what that all means. So yeah, manifester with a solar plexus authority. So the reason that we're so good together is in human design, there are 9 boxes, let's say, or different shapes within the design. And when we put ours together, all of those 9 boxes light up. So they're all connected. So
Yeah.
it doesn't leave much room for outside influences because we have all we need in our partnership. So that's pretty cool. We just have to realize that, we can't just be insular all the time. And actually, it's funny. I wanted to point out as well that when we were doing the YouTube channel, I was doing a lot of it and I kept just like messaging Karnie this and that. And then Karnie had to do bits and pieces and all this kind of stuff. And then she suddenly just went, okay, I need to tap out. I'm done. My head's just going a million miles. And I was thinking, okay, because her human design, she's like, she can't do that. So I
Yeah.
was like, fine, you just go and rest and I'll just continue because I'm a manifesting generator and I'll just keep going, keep going, keep going. So rather than just, oh, Connie, I need you to help me right now. Like, come on, we're doing this stuff and we need to get it done for the group. It's like, oh, yep, she needs that time out. Great. She's listening to her design. Off you go, Connie, you go have a nap. I will continue. And then when you wake up, I'll tell you what's been done. So it's just like realizing, so it's not changing either of us. It's just realizing how the other one needs to interact or react to stuff and then just allowing that so that you can continue in your own way. So yeah, it's a lovely.
Yeah, but the brilliance for me was because you'd explained that in advance, I knew I could have that conversation with you and say, okay, I need to tap out and
Mhm.
do something else, to just, because otherwise, we do have this tendency to push ourselves too far and just soldier on. We aren't always as upfront and honest with people. But when you know the other person gets where you're coming from, absolutely takes away the guilt. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. But I just wanted to share that because I thought it was really interesting when you were talking about productivity, to notice that we all have different levels of productivity. And yeah, once my batteries are recharged, then my steam's ready to roll again. But I need that recharge in between.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. And just to plug Alison as well. So me and Alison actually got qualified in human design through a couple of different teachers, but yeah, a similar one as well. But around the same time. So we're both at that same level. So if, one of us is more, your kind of person, then yeah, just go to either of us because we both had one of the same teachers. So we're pretty similar in that respect. And we have our own unique styles as well. So Alison might be the one for you if I'm not. So
Yeah.
there we go.
Beautiful.
All
All
right,
right.
so we're going to do the superconscious affirmation then. So however you wish to do this. You can either close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, you can touch your middle finger to your thumb, or just whatever you want to do, or not do it at all. All right. So take a breath. And just say out loud or in your head, and you're all muted, apart from Karnie, who's muted now. You can all say out loud if you wish, or in your head. I create environments that nourish my nervous system. Softness strengthens me. Safety is something I am allowed to generate. And just take a breath and breathe out any doubt. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back. And this just helps the self-generated and self-regulation of safety over the hypervigilance. All right. And today we are lucky enough to have Karnie doing the meditation. I need the meditation today, not to facilitate it. So it worked out perfectly.
Doing this one. I just wanted to share one thing that I've been aware of. I don't know if it's going on for other people as well, but often when you focus on one aspect that is a soul attribute, so the attributes of the soul, love, peace, joy, personal power. So when you focus on something that's the truth of who you are, it can often bring up shadow things to the surface really, really quickly. I've been aware of despondency kind of sitting at the edge of my awareness. And so this morning I just sat with it and held space and just, spoke to it and said, where are you from? What's the age that I need to be addressing? And just held space for the child within that had felt despondent at times. And I noticed it shifted really quickly. So don't be surprised if other shadows do come up while you're focusing on a soul attribute like joy, because what it'll do is it'll bring the internal conflicts within you to the surface. So I don't know if anyone else has noticed it as well, but because I noticed it this morning, I thought, well, I'll bring that one to people's attention. It's not a bad thing. It's just a part of you that hasn't been claimed that needs to have space held for it. Yeah. Bless you, darling. Okay. All righty. Let's go into our own private space then. And we're just going to close our eyes and settle down. You're welcome to either leave your camera on or off, entirely up to you. And this one is called Soften the Light. And it's a meditation in the magical hall of self-generated safety. Take a slow breath in and exhale like a spell leaving your lips. Imagine yourself standing before enormous carved doors, ancient oak etched with constellations and protective sigils. The air hums with quiet magic, and the doors open slowly. You enter a vast Hogwarts-like hall, soaring vaulted ceilings disappearing into starlit darkness. Floating candles hover in midair. Long tables stretch across polished stone floors. Tapestries shimmer with living threads of gold and deep midnight blue. But tonight, something is different. The light responds to you. In the past, the hall may have been brilliantly illuminated, every torch blazing, every corner exposed. hypervigilance disguised as readiness, brightness mistaken for safety. But now you are the alchemist who controls the atmosphere. You raise your hand gently, and the floating candles lower their flames, not extinguished, but softened. The sharpness in the room dissolves into golden warmth. Place your hand over your heart and whisper, I create environments that nourish my nervous system. At once, the ceiling shifts. The enchanted sky above becomes velvety twilight instead of storm. Stars glow steady and kind, and you take another breath and say, softness strengthens me. The long tables rearrange themselves, no longer rigid and formal, but inviting. Cushioned benches appear, velvet drapes absorb harsh echoes, and the acoustics warm. Your body feels it. Your shoulders lower, your jaw softens, the invisible scanning slows, and you speak the final spell. Safety is something I am allowed to generate. Pulse of magic ripples through the hall, and you realize something profound. Safety is not dependent on who enters the room, not dependent on perfect conditions, not dependent on controlling every outcome. You are not waiting for the castle to protect you. You are the one setting the field. The torches flicker into steady golden halos. The floating candles hover in gentle rhythm with your breath. Even the shadows feel companionable now, not threatening, just dimensional. You walk slowly down the centre aisle of the hall, and with every step, the floor beneath you glows faintly, responding to your regulated presence. Your nervous system is the wand. Your breath is the incantation. Notice what has shifted. Hypervigilance once said, stay alert, stay sharp, stay ready. But the new magic whispers, you may soften and still be powerful. You pause in the centre of the hall. Above you, the enchanted ceiling mirrors your inner sky, calm, steady, luminous. This is the anchor, self-generated safety over hypervigilance. You are not dimming your power, you are refining it. Soft light does not weaken magic, it makes it sustainable. Take one final breath and imagine the floating candles synchronizing with your heartbeat. The hall remains vast, magical, sovereign. And whenever life feels too loud, too bright, too sharp, you may return here, lower the flames, adjust the sky, and regulate the room. Because the greatest magic of all is not control over others, it is mastery of your own atmosphere. And you, my luminous one, are the alchemist of the light. And then just wriggling your fingers and toes, moving the shoulders around, bringing the breath back into the body. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes.
Beautiful, Karnie.
Good.
You're so excited for that one as well, and it was amazing.
Oh, excited.
At the beginning with the door, and you're saying like the humming. Literally
Yeah.
before you said that, I felt this like hum vibration up my legs and all through my body. It was really cool. And then walked in, and yeah, it was lovely. Well, actually, I floated through. You like was saying like walk, and I was really struggling to walk, and then I was like, you know what, I can fly. So just flying
Yeah.
around. It's lovely.
Yeah. Well, interesting you mentioned the humming too, because humming is actually something you can do to calm your central nervous system as well too. Calms it right down really, really quickly. Humming or singing. So, yeah. Anybody else have anything they wanted to share? No compulsion, of course. Nope. Alrighty. So tomorrow, Beck, we've got our laughter session and you're running the show on that one. What do people need to bring?
Yeah, pretty much just bring something that makes you laugh. So a line from a comedian or something funny that someone said or did or an image of something that makes you laugh. Anything at all. Bring that with you. Something short. That's all you need.
Yeah, beautiful. If anyone's stuck, reach out and I'll send you some Michael McIntyre because we both love him. Okay, so if there's no more questions, then it's hasta la vista from us, the Happy Hippie Chicks, Karnie and
And you've just experienced another joy flip.
woohoo! Ciao.